Guys, Alex Thomas here, co-founder of the Intel Hub. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to go over this article I found from naturalnews.com. FEMA to confiscate food from local farms in emergencies. Since our nation's founding, the federal government has, in times of emergency, claimed extra constitutional powers and authority. Under the guise of acting in the public's interest, Washington has taken away privacy rights, free speech, and habeas corpus, among others. There's no reason to think that it wouldn't happen again. With that in mind, would it surprise you to find out that if disaster strikes in your part of the country, the federal government is prepared to take over local food supplies, in part by confiscating farms? It shouldn't, says Farmer Brad, a Texas-based farmer who said in an interview about food security with Mike Adams for Natural News TV that during Hurricane Katrina, an inventory of local farms and what they produced was conducted by the Federal Emergency Management Agency. FEMA was doing an inventory of all the farms around metroplexes, he said, which included nearby Houston and other large cities. They started calling up farms and wanted to know where farms were and that they were being prepared to take food if they need to, from farms, for a crisis like that. Brad of HomeSweetFarm.com said that while the agency didn't come right out and say they would confiscate crops and cattle, they were making food assessments, what is in the local food shed in a metroplex. He said the agency's assessments took into account a number of potential emergencies and disasters, including spikes in fuel prices or even sudden disruptions, anything that might hinder or prevent the delivery of food to stores. Such scenarios would lead to dramatic increases in food prices as well. The distribution for food is so fragile, and there's only enough food in these grocery stores to last literally for just a couple of days, he said, noting that store shelves during Katrina were stripped bare within hours. Worse, Brad said, because of mass evacuations from the big cities, traffic choked local roads, making even short-distance travel impossible. He said he and his family couldn't even get into town to go to the store. We heard all kinds of stories from our local residents about what it was like. People camping out in the Walmart parking lot. Grocery stores were empty. Food wasn't coming in. We had people from 90 miles away from Houston and some other metroplexes coming into our town because we were one of the few that still had gas. Brad said that FEMA didn't send agents to farms but made phone calls instead, asking, "What are you producing? How much land do you have?" Wanting to get the details of the local food sheds in the area. He said he and local farms voluntarily provided the information, but that the food security aspect of the questions made them all a little suspicious. As people flee the larger cities, Brad says most of them will be unprepared and that his farm, through theft or through confiscation, will likely be wiped out.